This. Ooh. Hey. Hey, lady.
Hey.
I'm sitting here straightening it up and everything, making sure I'm presentable.
Put together.
Together, friends. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh, we are back, ladies. It's been a minute. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I missed y'all, even though I talk to y'all every day on Marco Polo. And our heartbeats.
We miss you, heartbeats.
Yes. We miss you, heartbeats. We're back.
Yes.
In full swing. Season 4.
Oh my God.
4.
Season 4.
That's crazy, y'all. Can we just sit in that for a moment and think about the fact that we are on our 4th season? I swear, I feel like we just started talking about releasing this podcast.
Yes.
We're almost on our 2nd year. Yeah,
2nd year will be July 6th. So I know we have something special planned for y'all. We just don't know what it is yet. But yeah, we got something.
man. That is so wild.
Yes.
It's wild.
It is. Well, we have so much to share with you all, and how appropriate this season, our theme season, right? So we're coming off our power season, right? Everything was like the power of, we empowered you, you empowered us. You know, we had our workshop. And what more appropriate title for this season, Discovery and Exploration. So now we got all the power, but now we're discovering.
Got the power.
Boom, 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 boom,
SEC Music Factory.
Yes. Oh yeah, right. Yes. Oh, love that.
Fun fact, I was a cheerleader for 1 season for the local football team, and we had to do a cheer competition, and that was one of the songs that we danced to in our cheer competition.
That's neat.
Okay.
Then the next year they came looking for me because they were like, we started practice already. Are you coming back? I was like, nope.
Yeah. That is hilarious. Oh, I love it.
I didn't.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Well, this is going to be great. We are kicking this season off. We have some great things in store for you, ladies and gentlemen. Our heartbeats, Discovery and Exploration, episode 70. 70. That's crazy. Season 4. I keep putting that 4 up. Didn't Beyonce have an album called 4? I don't know. Do y'all remember that?
It's 4. What was her birthday? It was her birthday.
Oh, her birthday. Yes. Her birthday is September 4th. Look at that.
Yeah.
I feel like Rosie Perez on White Men Can't Jump when she went on Jump.
You would win, let me tell you.
Stanley said the same thing.
She's at the basket.
He said, he said, you're just full of useless information. I was like, I was not how about that? Yeah, but yes.
Yeah, that was a good album though. I really like
that.
It
was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So every time I keep putting up that 4, I just keep imagining that. Here we are. Yes. Recap for season 3. Wow. Who wants to go, ladies?
Ooh, the power season. Only your power, 7 to your greatest. I don't know. So for me, I'll give just my thoughts on it, I guess. It was a great season. One, for a couple of reasons, things that I loved about it was just the use of the word power. So now Shauna doesn't have to ask me to use that word ever again in podcasting. But it's something that I found myself actually talking to people about a lot, especially to like my daughter who's like 25 and my son who's 19, because like when they get to a certain age, you have to let them know like I've raised you and given you everything that you need, right? Mm-hmm. And everything else that you need to make any decisions going forward, you have within you. You just have to take time to be able to call those back to your memory, to listen to yourself and to trust yourself. And those are all things that we talked about in last season, just about trusting yourself, asking for what it is that you want and taking a chance on yourself. And so for me, that is probably my biggest takeaway is just the reminder that I have everything I need within me, and to also be able to share that with my children or any close friends that might be dealing with something similar. Because like once you hit a certain age, like there's no more raising to be done. Now it's just consulting, and I'm not giving you the answer. I'm just telling like, well, I mean, from my perspective, this is how it could be, or it could be this way, but it could be something totally different that I didn't even see, but you have to make those decisions and move forward. And I feel like for everyone who is at a place in their life that they're in a crossroad, stop asking other people for permission and trust yourself. So For me, that's what owning your power is. Stepping into your greatness is when you can do it alone and you don't feel like you have to have other people with you to do it. He'll send you the right people that you need along the way, but you don't have to have people to make those steps and move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great recap, Jeanette. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I think you summed it up so well there. Yes, and it led to a wonderful workshop that we had. We'll get into that in a little bit. I want to hear from Shauna. Like, what were your kind of thoughts on, season 3 and some of your favorite and maybe some of your pivotal moments?
This was my favorite season to date. I think I feel like I say that every season. I think because we actually took the time to kind of put chapters together for a season. And I think that was really unique. And we had a theme and a focus, and everything led to the next step. And I felt really good about that for myself. I felt really good about that working with the heartbeats, because we know that they're on this journey with us. The power of truth, the power of forgiveness were two that really stuck out for me the whole season, really. But self-discovery work, as you know, I love it. I love everything about it. And it all leads to your truth. And like Jeanette said earlier, and we all praise and love tribes, but we also know that when you're on a self-discovery journey, there are parts of it that you have to do alone. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about this upcoming season to come. And I really enjoyed the workshop at the end. I thought that was a really nice addition to the season.
I agree.
Yes. I enjoyed that too. I think from some of my favorites were, of course, the power of joy, because that was my word for last year, for 2021. And, the just being confident about it, that's my word for this year, 2022. And just being confident that, what we built and put together, that I felt like it was achievable and I could actually do the work. Now, there were some episodes like, ooh, the power of asking. Ooh, that was probably the most growth area for me. So as we get into this episode, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I would say I identified growth areas, and that was really, really key. And then putting together the workshop, it was so easy, especially with you ladies, of course, but from the content that we had and hearing from our heartbeats, what resonated with them helped us put the workshop together, and ended up being just a beautiful collaboration. Also hearing from them, they were excited about it. And we really dug into a lot there. I think the conversations are, still happening, still going, which led us to, some other things that we're going to talk about later as far as our membership and such. But yeah, I was just so excited about it. We fulfilled Shauna's dream of everything power.
My dream has come true.
And
some. Like, yay. Plus more.
Your power.
Abundance.
Yes. Too funny.
Are you talking, Jeanette?
Are you talking?
I was.
Oh.
Mike. Sorry. No, I was saying, I was agreeing with Linda. I was like, yeah, Shauna's going to be like, she can't anymore be like, can we name this episode The Power of, or something The Power?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, she still might get one in there.
Yeah.
Especially when her book comes out.
That's right.
That's Power of Love Energy.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have an episode on that. So
coming soon. Yes. Yeah. And by the time this airs, Shauna, we're gonna be hitting that hard, because this airs in June. So we've got some work to do.
Yes.
And of course, Jeanette, I think I texted you or probably in our group chat. Like every time now the season was over, I kept seeing the power of everything. Like,
oh my goodness.
Like, what? We could have used that as
because we are trailblazers, baby.
I got several magazines under my desk right now. Between, I think it's oh my God, Time magazine, and there's another one. Is it Real Simple? I think it's the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if I see another magazine cover with the power of now, our theme for this year, we're gonna tell y'all right now, is self-discovery and exploration. So if you start,
you heard it here first.
The journey of self-discovery everywhere on these
you heard it here.
You heard it here first. We're trailblazers.
They've been listening to us.
Yeah, of course. I'm like, wait a minute, the power of self-discovery. We had this. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm seeing the power of everything. I mean, everything from all these different platforms to the power of taking control of your career. I'm like, no, I said that. I'm yelling at the magazine. No.
It just proves over and over again how aligned we are and how in tune we are with what's happening around us and within us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
My
something I
dog.
wanted to point out to that, like, because I don't know if this is just a side note or what for people, but we could have easily seen these titles popping up and been like, oh, people gonna think that we stole it, so maybe we should change what we're doing. But it's just like when you say, oh, you know what, I'm about to get me a blue Range Rover, then you're gonna start seeing blue Range Rovers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you say, oh, I'm about to get me that new, what's that new pretty blue Honda Accord that they got out now, my daughter has one, I see that color car everywhere I go. Never saw it before. She got this car, now I see it everywhere. And so it's not that it's already been done, it's that now you're just more aware that you are, you know, in alignment with what's going on around you and what people need and what people like and what the trends are. It's just that you're in alignment, and now you're just more aware of it.
Yep. And also what you put out there, you attract to you. So if that's what you're attracted to, that's what's going to keep coming to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I keep thinking about that power. 100%. I'm like, it's like, oh my gosh, the power. I almost think this is kind of corny, but I'm for all my Marvel fans out there. Right. And I was watching the latest Spider-Man. So they brought one of the characters back. Yeah. And it was Jamie Foxx's character, if you guys haven't seen that one. And he had all this power because he was just this he's like, I am the power. He was attracting all this energy.
He was so excited about all the electric energy that was in the new
because he had been around 8 years ago. So it's like, so I'm just having that vision.
This universe. I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. So corny, I know you guys can throw tomatoes at me, but yeah, I don't know. But I just had to bring that up.
No tomatoes being thrown.
It's just corny, but yeah, that's what I attribute this to. So
corny is always cool.
Well, that's now, but back in the day, Lord, I tried. That's why I'm working for a living. Anyway. So yes,
hilarious.
Yes.
But yeah, and so I guess let's touch on a little bit about the workshop and kind of like why we did a workshop around the season and kind of what that looks like for us going forward. Does anybody want to talk about that?
I'll start. Mia is doing a thing today.
Mia doing backflips, huh?
Yeah.
Are them cassette tape earrings?
They sure are.
They are it's the radio.
It's a radio.
It's so cute.
Remember the radio used to carry on our shoulders? Y'all know that in New York and New Jersey.
Yeah.
Radio Raheem.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know your dad had mushrooms inside his jacket? That's what I felt like when I said.
He was like, yes.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. What I liked about the idea of us coming up with a workshop at the end of the season was I really wanted to spend time with the heartbeats and just see how they felt about the topics and what it resonated with them and what were they really truly working on.
Yeah. For me, similar. I agree with that. Shauna always points it out, but for me, it's all about the action. And I never want the work that we do to just be something that y'all say, oh, well, that sounds good in theory, and move on forward and don't take action on it. The whole point of this, aside from holding ourselves accountable about the things that we want for ourselves, is to also give our listeners the opportunity to make change in their life as well, so that they can begin to live the life that they desire. And so I really wanted to make sure that after listening to all the episodes from that season, because that was the first season that we were very intentional on the way the episodes flowed versus just the topics that we wanted to talk about or what was resonating with us and popped up during that time frame. Last season, we really were intentional about how the episodes flowed and, what we wanted people to take away from it. And so I think for me, the workshop was just an added bonus and something that we're hoping to be able to implement every season going forward. And as we continue to be very intentional about what content we bring to you all.
Yeah, I
Linda, what
like the
about
way
you?
we did that. Yeah, I like the way we did that, Jeanette and Shauna, just how we even reordered some of the episodes because we were like,
Yeah,
wait a minute, how you gonna
this
be
really comes
consistent?
first.
So we did that. And I think, that was purposely done. It was done on purpose to make sure that we were bringing, the content, but also giving people the building blocks to, for owning their power, for successfully doing it. And then even if they didn't feel confident enough to completely walk in their greatness, they knew that they could take the first step to get there. So if you're not fully there, if you think you're not fully there, a lot of us are a lot further along than we think. And that's the biggest thing. Like I'm so guilty of that. Like, oh yeah. This little thing over here, I tried to do this. Those little words like that, you minimize it. But I think we took that into consideration, and that way the workshop was built with that in mind. Yeah.
I like that setup a lot. And then, we like to get in front of our audience and talk to them and see them face to face and just have them share their stories, because also it's really good for us to be able to see like the impact and like, how people have grown or changed or how they're working on themselves going forward. So I love that part, like just to see the impact. It's just an added bonus. So
added bonus. Yep. Shauna, what about you in the workshop and how you felt? I think your mic is
I'm going to ring our mascot. That's what I'll do right now.
Oh, okay. The power
of ringing the mascot of the Heart of Chat, Mia. She dropped food in her water. All right, I got the food out. I gave her fresh water. Now she's telling me something else. And it's always when it's time to record.
I just heard her just now. I just heard her. Was I?
Yes.
Hey, Mia. Well, maybe she's on a self-discovery journey.
She is. She gonna discover that she
discover and explore. All right.
Exactly. Okay, my bad. What was the question?
Oh, so your takeaways from the workshop and how you felt. What did you feel, about how we delivered it? Just some key points on
that workshop. I kept hearing from Heartbeats for days about that workshop, on how many takeaways they got from it, how it helped them jumpstart, how it helped solidify the whole season from listening to the season. And it was a really great, I would say a great wraparound around what we were putting out, what the work that we were putting out. So that was the bomb workshop. Good. The last couple of days afterwards, like I was still on fire about it.
That's great. Yeah, same here. And I really think, I know we had intentions on building our season 4 like weeks ago, right? And I really think the way that lives are set up now and events and the world is halfway open and all the different things, we started building season 4 after the workshop was done, which I think that was sort of on purpose. We were like, no, we gotta build it now. It has to be right now before we do the workshop. But I think we needed the workshop to happen to get to where we are today with the discovery and exploration. So
agreed.
I just want to make that point before I forgot. But yeah, it really helped us build what we are bringing to our heartbeats today and to kick off this new season.
Yeah. So the theme for this season, and which is also a natural progression from the things that we talked about and owning your power and stepping into your greatness, is self-discovery and exploration. Because now that you know that you have everything in you, then you're free to go pursue the things that you really want in your life. And that natural next step, we feel like, is self-discovery and exploration, and then all the things that come along with it, right? Pivoting, fear, self-doubt, what else, ladies?
Inner critic.
Yeah, just not talking positively to yourself.
Self-talk.
So many things that come along with that journey of self-discovery. It's not all going to be roses and peaches and all that fun as you go through it. It's going to be a process. I was listening to this guy's YouTube video. Popped on a YouTube for something totally different, and this guy's video popped up, and he was talking about this cleanse that he was doing, and how he's 90 days in, right? And so like he was talking about the end result, and he had a whole video about like how it's helped him internally, externally, spiritually. But in this video, he was like, he wanted to share some of the things like that happened. But at the beginning, he was like, because those first couple of days were rough. He did a raw fruit and veggie detox for 90 days. He only ate fruits and vegetables for 90 days. He might have juiced his fruit or whatever, but that's all he had. And you think about that process when you're exploring and you're discovering like what it is you want to be or do, but your body and your mind is going to go through changes. Your relationships are going to go through changes because people are not going to understand why you're changing. So yeah, like these are just all the things that we want to make sure that as you go through this next phase in your life, that you all are prepared.
That's right. Yes, that's a good segue into some examples of our personal journeys. So maybe what's one thing, ladies, your journey of self-discovery, something that you have like, ooh, I know where I was, I don't know, it could be 2 years ago, it could be 5 years ago to where I am today. What would be something? Shauna, I see you over there thinking. I see it moving.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, my biggest last piece, I've self-discovered my whole life. And I believe it's something I'll be doing until I leave this earth, just because I'm always evolving and always want to learn more. And my biggest thing is just redefining who I am as Shauna Hibbets without Lorenzo Hibbets physically being here. So that's been the biggest transformation for me as far as self-discovery and exploration. And when I hear discovery and exploration, there's two things that keep popping in my head, and it's the courage to be curious. Because you got to have courage to be okay to be curious about it, and to not, like, I love when Jeanette says this, not tie yourself into an outcome, and just kind of let things flow and see where it would take you and where it would lead. And for myself, I always said that when people ask me what's my superpower is that my number one superpower, I have many, but my number one is I'm resilient. And I don't know if I could have obtained that or felt so solid about that as a superpower if I wasn't daring enough to be to have the courageousness to be curious about wanting to live again, wanting to figure out what is it that Shauna Hibbets wants, what makes her happy. Now I no longer have to think about two people. Now I'm back to thinking for myself. And so discovering that and redefining myself is the biggest thing. And I think I spoke a lot last year about me being in a cocoon and feeling like a caterpillar, and by the end of the year I was able to blossom into this beautiful butterfly. So now
Yes.
I feel like I'm flying, I'm soaring right now.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
love
you.
that, Shauna. Love that example. And I know a lot of people out there, our listeners, our heartbeats, can definitely relate to that. And we hope they take the steps with us to continue
Please.
to explore. Yes, even if you're in the discovery phase, that's okay. That's why we're here and we're doing this work together. Jeanette, what about you? What's an example of your own personal journey that you want to talk about?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm getting quit pushing this button on my microphone. Normally, I know I'm acting like Shauna over here. Like,
I know it's
it
hard though, because is it flashing or solid?
Okay,
Yes,
yeah, it's supposed to be solid, right?
I feel like it's the opposite.
Yeah.
And I normally know this, but whatever. It's for me, so my self-discovery journey started some years ago. I'm probably not as early as Shauna's, because I feel like Shauna is always known, like she always says she was like this adult child. So she's kind of been like on this journey since she was like a kid. Who I am, and like just really understanding like what is going on around her. I'll say for me, one example would be just I had Navon, my oldest daughter, at 17, and I was working. I was on a corporate train, and which is not a bad thing. So I'm not bashing people that are loving their corporate job, but I was on that path, and it was lucrative, and it was a blessing for me as a mom, single mom. And I was like, well, I had her so young. By the time she goes to college, I'll be in my early 30s. I can focus on what I want to do and who I want to be when she's gone. And then I met this country boy, and now I have all these babies and this family that I love, more than words can express. But for me, the thing that clicked for me where I was like, oh, okay, you have to focus on yourself too, was when I had more kids. And I was like, I can't wait till everybody is grown and gone, because then there'll be something else to focus on. And so that's when I realized that I was really just putting off the things that I wanted to do for myself and using my child as an excuse, right? Like, I can't do this, I have a kid. I can't do that, I have a kid. And, so for me, that's when I really started doing that work, was probably around Navon's, like, maybe around when she was like 15. So like about 10 years ago when I started that. And that's when I just really started trying to figure out like, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? And for me, it was just following whatever path showed up for me. So, I was using the hobby of crocheting because I was in between living arrangements. I lived with my brother temporarily. I couldn't take all my stuff. I was like, well, I can crochet. You don't need much, some yarn and the hook. Started doing that, and the people was like, oh, you should sell this. And I was like, I guess so. Then I started blogging, and then when I got into my new place, I started sewing again and was selling. And then that led to needing a new camera to take better pictures, which eventually led to doing photography. And it just led and led and
That's
led
the beauty of the
and led.
curiosity.
Yes.
That's why that's one of my favorite things to talk about or to tell, especially our entrepreneurs, like in my program that I run, like we tell them all the time, like, y'all have to just stay open. Like what you're doing today might not be the thing that you do long-term, but it may be the thing that leads you to the thing that you do long-term, that creates generational wealth for you, that creates jobs and is sustainable, and that you can grow and sell or whatever it is you want to do with it. But for me, self-discovery was just really just allowing myself to be curious and to continue to just try new things and not count anything as a failure. Be okay when I decided I didn't want to do it anymore and I was going to move on to something else. But also making sure I knew why I was letting something go, that I wasn't just letting it go to say, I wasn't just quitting because it was hard, that it really was time to transition, right? And I feel like, some people struggle in that area and they're like, oh, I'm just being curious, I'm just trying new things. Like, no, actually this situation is fear and you're running. So, so for me, part of my self-discovery was going to therapy and figuring out, or not figuring out, but becoming more self-aware. And so where I can start to really recognize why my habits are the way they are, why I do the things that I do or don't do the things I do. And like, no, that's just fear popping in, or no, this was a good decision, this is what you should be doing. So being able to really understand and trust myself fully. And so for me, it's ongoing. I'm still discovering and exploring, but yeah, always working and moving forward.
It is. It's always a work in progress. We are works in progress.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Work of art.
Yes, yes. Let's see. My personal discovery started probably later in life, for sure. I think it was in two parts. One was using my voice and learning to do that. I was always okay with being the backup singer, the background person, and still in some ways I am still that way, but I feel like I'm being thrust to the forefront for a reason. whether it be in, my personal life, entrepreneurship, and career. So about 10 years ago, I started writing. So I started blogging, and then blogging led to, of course, meeting you beautiful ladies, and then other relationships where, wow, I'm actually able to use my voice. I was able to write, which I had to start from writing. So I wasn't just this person was going to be out there speaking to everybody. So I started with what I knew, what I felt most comfortable with, but I didn't want to stay there because I didn't want to be stuck per se. I wanted to grow from that. And eventually the writing turned into blogging, and then the website. And then I wanted to always write a book since I was like 9 years old. So I was like, how am I going to write this book? Okay, I'm going to use these blog posts to write the book. And then I became the person who spoke up for other authors who wanted to write. Okay, well, maybe I can help them do this. So that was the discovery of sorts for me. But along the way, I was able to also, in parallel, use my voice to help others, and also it helped me. So that was like part of my journey of self-discovery. And then I think about fast forward to season 3 of the podcast, we have an episode called The Power of Asking. So it's like, ooh, this is in every facet of my life, the power of asking. So I found myself using that too, not only with writing or helping others, but also in my career. Because my dad used to say, if you don't ask, you don't get. And, did I listen? Probably not at first, till much later in life. So I was like, all right. So I started, kind of like asking for things in the workforce, and even, with the pandemic and post whatever we're in now, I don't know if it's post pandemic or whatever, but just sort of asking for things in that realm that I would have never done 10 years ago. Asking for office space, or, hey, what about the title and designation of a promotion, or things of that nature. So all of that self-discovery work from 10 years ago, the writing it out, the talking it out, the journey, that's where I am today. So that part for me is like, I'm still exploring, because I still think that there is, parts of my voice that I don't use, but I look back 10 years ago to now, and it's just like night and day. So I think this summer will be 9 or 10 years that I started my first blog. I have to go back and look at that very first blog post. But yeah, if I go back and read that now to where I am today, it's like, wow, night and day almost. So yeah, that I would say that's how I identify my personal journey, my self-discovery journey. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something spoke to me about what both of you ladies shared. So with you, Linda, you speak a lot about your voice, and just listening to this story that we know this story, but you just tend to pick up different things when you hear it. And it's almost like once you discovered your voice, your passion for writing, then now you become a representation for other authors, because now you have your own self-publishing company. And who'd have thought that you using your voice, being courageous to do the steps necessary and needed through blogging, and you often talk about when you were blogging, you were one of the older curve, that was blogging was for the younger generation. And who'd have thought that was going to lead to where you are now, where now you're booked out and you can't even accept clients for another couple of months, and all of the things, and do you see how that happened? Like your voice and your representation and your love for the written word all coming together like that. So that's what spoke to me listening to you. That is amazing. I just love it. And Jeanette, there's something we learned in early childhood profession. It's called teaching our children, when it comes to art, process over the product. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers don't take that to heart, and they don't like it when kids color outside the lines, or when kids create a masterpiece and they don't know what they drew, or they get so stuck into the end result, and they don't understand what was going through that child emotionally to actually during the process to actually get to where they got to. And just thinking about, you said some things like letting things go, being okay for the growth to happen. And that jumped out at me, and I'm like, yeah, that's totally it. It's not about the end result, or trying to categorize these things on your self-discovery journey. Like there's no category for it. It's almost like a just go for it. You know, I almost feel like when you think of self-discovery, I don't know if I would do this. Today, I would not do this. I don't know. If you ask me tomorrow, maybe. Today, I would not do this, but there are people that one of their bucket list items is to jump out of the aircraft with a parachute on their back.
I'm good.
Would you do that?
That's on my list.
Not me.
Okay. Now
Not
my
me.
bucket list is hot air balloon. I'll do the hot air balloon. You won't do that either, Linda?
I'm good.
They got
I think
the
I watch too much
simulated
TV.
ones, Linda, where
I
it's like
know.
the big fan and it'll
Okay.
hold you
Yeah,
up.
the
to do that.
iFly place. We have one of those here. I'm
Okay.
good with that, but I watch too much TV, and there was an episode about that. Not the hot air balloon that got away. So good.
I still want to do it. So I was just thinking about the process, because that's the whole thing that we have to always remember is it's what we're learning along the way is where the magic is. The magic is not the goal, the end goal, or we're trying to change a certain habit, or we try to figure out what our path is. The magic is what's happening along the way. Like the example that Jeanette gave for the gentleman, he did a 90-day detox. And his focus was, well, not his focus, but he wanted to make sure that he drove the point home to his audience that there's some parts to this that wasn't gravy, and you should know about it. And this is what I learned from it, you know? So yeah, it's the process over the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. The magic is not the end goal. It is in the process, which it is. And that's where you really learn about yourself and who you are. Like self-discovery isn't hard. You know, a lot of people want to know, like, oh, what's my one purpose in life? What am I meant to do? Yeah. So for me, like, I know without a doubt, like my gift and or purpose that I was created for was to serve and to help others. That can come in so many different ways, so many different, there's so many opportunities for me to serve and to help, and which is not a coincidence why that, like, when you're doing all these strength finders and Myers-Briggs and Enneagrams, like your personality type probably lends itself to what your purpose and gift is. And for me, it's always the helper, ideation, the ideals person, the strategist. Like, that's just who I am naturally. How I use that gift, as long as I'm using it, I'm in alignment. As long as I'm using it for good to help them in a positive way, right? Because some people have gifts and they be doing some shady stuff. And I'm like, if you could only do this for good, you are so smart, but you use your smarts for the wrong things. But but knowing and being okay with the fact that it doesn't have to look one way, and that it's okay if it changes. Like,
it's a masterpiece. It's art. And it's what you create is your vision. It's what you see, how you feel.
Yes. Yep. This is great. Wow. Lots of good nuggets. I hope you are free to have your notebooks and pencils and papers, voice clips. Voice clips, talk to yourself. And then think about talk to us. Please talk to us. We love talking to y'all. And think about what areas you want to focus on. So we brought up a lot. Each of us shared our different stories. We shared our self-discovery journey. So think about an area of focus for yourself. I think that's going to be a key thing as we continue to build upon these episodes, and you're going to see yourselves in these episodes and how you can use these as building blocks for your areas of focus.
Yeah, definitely. We did a workshop with our Heartbeats in our membership, right? Where we talked about that and setting goals, and, which we probably need to see. Has it been 90 days yet? They might need to refresh. But if you weren't in that workshop, I will tell you it is not about just, what do I want to create as a career or a job, or, finding love, not finding love, or whatever the case may be. You have to really figure out, like, what's not in harmony with everything else in your life right now, because sometimes we are pulled so much to one area, one side. Like, so for me, if in this season of self-discovery, two things that I would focus on is my overall well-being, which is something that I'm doing physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually. And then also a separate one is financially. So those are like two things that I'm really focused on and really trying to grow in. And so that's what I would tell you is and one of the things that we told them in the workshop, if your marriage is amazing, you and your husband are in a beautiful space, and y'all know there's one person that I'm thinking of when I say this, because when she talks about her husband, Miss Denise,
Yes.
if you're listening,
yeah,
like you just know they are just lovebirds. They are always forever 16. What's that song? Forever Young? Like that.
Forever
They
Young.
are just, yes.
Forever young.
Like that's like for her, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but just from my outside looking in, but like if you're someone in a space like that in your marriage, that might not be your area of focus, right? Because it's already running smoothly. You're consistent with
it's
it.
naturally
It's natural,
harmonious.
right? It's in harmony.
Yeah.
Right.
Stretch yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna focus on a thing that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to learn how to garden, like you want to start a garden and grow your own food. Do that, which I'm doing that now.
You want to do that, Linda?
I want to repot a plant. That's how I'm gonna start there. So I have these plants that are staring at me that need to be repotted, Jeanette. So
Okay.
I just want to start there.
Hit me up. We can talk.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you want to grow, Jeanette? I saw you had tomato plants. Yeah.
Oh, so I just got one of my raised bed boxes today that I put together and played in some dirt today. It was so nice. It was all under my nails, Shauna. It was so nice.
Yucky, yikes.
But I planted peppers. I planted butternut squash. I planted cucumbers, planted kale, butter lettuce.
Wow.
3 tomato plants. Plus I have a big one, and I have a lemon tree. And
a lemon tree. How long is that going to take?
I don't know, but I got one. I mean, it's a little tree right now.
Oh, okay.
It'll grow. It's not starting from a seed, but it's little. But yeah, I want a lemon tree.
My cousin she bought a house in California with the lemon trees. It's humongous.
Wow. Oh my.
And I'm just thinking of that tree when you said it. That's what I was like, well, how long is that going to take?
Yeah, well, I'm growing it in a container because I want to be able to move it in the house, because if I'm not in Cali and it's going to get frosty certain times of the year. So I want to be able to move my lemon tree in the house during the colder seasons. And then when I got my flat of veggies and stuff, they also gave us some wildflowers to plant with them so that you can attract bees and butterflies to pollinate them, and it helps the garden.
She said attract the bees.
I know. I was like,
like, what we doing?
That was not one of my favorite things, but I was like, okay,
it's part of the process.
It's part of the process. It helped to pollinate the flowers and the plants.
Alrighty.
Yep.
And I got some dill as well. So
wow, you are. Yeah, I'm just trying to repot a plant.
Serious? Is this your first year doing that many?
Yes, we've done some little ones, and they never lasted. And I wasn't super serious about them. Like I was like, oh, okay, it was something for the kids, but like I'm really serious. Like I'm about to pay somebody to build me a couple more container, a box garden.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be slick. You definitely have the land for it.
I'm trying to create my little gardening sitting area in Oasis, and Corey was like, what you trying to be like, baby boy's mama? I say, yep. With my plants and my wine.
Okay. I thought
keep that bench. Keep that bench.
Linda,
I was like,
you so mannish. Lascivious. Just lascivious.
That's my masculine energy coming out.
That was not what I was thinking about.
Okay. I mean,
I'll take it.
Take it. It's a long day.
If anybody's a Baby Boy fan, then y'all just
love that movie.
I was talking about her garden, and he was talking about her garden where she was out there. She had her little chair in her garden,
right?
With her wine. That's what I'm trying to have.
It wasn't just her wine, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't do that, but yeah.
That was hilarious. See, that's how I know it's getting late.
It's getting late. Why you gotta be here?
Lord. All right, but anyway, focus ladies.
Speaking of focus,
yes, they need to focus. But no, we want y'all to figure out what areas of your life you want to focus on. Is it having more fun? Is it,
it's having more fun for me. And
sure, I'll take fun for
fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take fun
having
for
more fun. Having more fun. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
The summer is my favorite season. I've already started my bucket list. I've already got stuff scheduled.
Mhm.
She
Yeah.
already
You
traveling.
do.
I ain't
I
playing. I ain't
know.
playing.
We trying to keep her on. We just like just give us one hour so we can
yes.
record some episodes.
Yes, exactly. That's it. That's it. We
Take your
good. We
mic and your
good.
headphones wherever you
Right.
go in a
Yes.
laptop so we can
That's
You
record
never
the
right.
know.
That's
episode.
right.
Mhm.
That's right. I got
That's
you.
right.
Linda, what's something that you focusing on this season?
Oh, this season. Wow. Oh, goodness. I know like I said, I talk about using my voice a lot, but I still think there's work to do. I need to be more so aggressive is not the right word, but it's more
Assertive.
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 So that's the word I was looking at, the other A word. Yes, assertive.
The other A
Yeah.
word.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
We got a cheerleader in the house.
That's
That was a
right.
fun
I have
fact
no
today.
rhythm,
I
so
know.
yeah.
You gotta cuff your hands, Linda, because
Yeah,
it makes a louder clap.
Oh.
Y'all didn't know that? No, Linda.
No, I wasn't a cheerleader.
Lord, Linda, this is why you stick to tennis
I know.
and what other sports
That's
did you
in
play?
volleyball. This is
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yep, this is
Them
why.
hands was slapping
Girl,
that
yeah,
ball
I have
down.
long arms. Yep, this is why I gotta stay in my
Block
lane.
and spike.
Yeah, stay in my
Yeah.
lane. Yes, being more assertive.
Assertive.
So yeah, I think that's what I need to work on. And I'm talking like every facet, like career.
And not feeling
especially.
guilty about it.
Not feeling guilty.
Because
I do
sometimes
feel
we can be
guilty.
assertive, but then sometimes we can feel like, oh, was I a little too hard?
Yeah,
Or it's
yeah.
like,
Own it.
Stick it up for yourself.
I know.
Stay in it.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
backpedal
Right.
out of it.
And
Right.
it's been some
Right.
tests lately, especially in the career world. But I've been tested, so I'm like,
Well, that's because you're asking for this, and the
Mhm.
universe is placing you in situations and
Yeah,
circumstances,
that is
giving you the
exactly.
opportunity to practice it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I need to practice more. I need to, even if it's throwing up an empty Zoom and talking into it. I mean, I just need to do that.
Yes.
That's just where I'm at right now.
I just had this conversation with a coworker of mine, and he was asking me for this, like, some feedback personally, and I just said my main thing was like, stop apologizing to people.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I'm sorry for texting you right now, or I'm sorry for asking. I was like, stop apologizing. We are here to do a job, and if it's your job to hold us accountable, then do that. And whether people get in their feelings or not, they just have to get over it and move on. But you're here to do a job.
Absolutely.
Right.
I said,
right.
so don't apologize. Stop apologizing.
Right. Yeah. And
So is that what you're working on this
Being
season?
assertive.
Yeah, I am.
No, Jeanette. I'm sorry.
No,
Linda.
not me. Oh, I don't apologize.
Oh no, Jeanette is good in that area.
That's what I was wondering.
I was telling
I was going to ask you, why are you working on that again?
No, I said I was having a conversation with a coworker who asked me for feedback on their selves, and that was my feedback for them.
That's Japanese for yes.
Yeah.
I
was like, what?
To say that is not you. You are not owning your power or telling the truth.
Yeah, I was like,
there you go.
I was a little too assertive in this other meeting I had. I had to apologize. I was like, I apologize if I came off a little aggressive.
My bad. My bad. Mm-hmm.
There is a line.
There is. And sometimes you just gotta bring it.
But I don't think you've crossed that line, Linda. So you can just keep moving.
No, barely. Yeah. She barely getting to the line.
Yeah, I know. Well,
she the tallest one out the three of us.
I'm telling you, these situations have just come up lately. Even my supervisor even said, he was like, yeah, I think you handled that well. He said, but sometimes as a project manager, you gotta be an a-hole. He said that. He was like, I think I told y'all that on Marco Polo. He was like, you have to be a-hole. He said, I appreciate your kindness and your all the things. He says, it's actually pretty remarkable for somebody in your. I was cracking up because he's real blunt.
It's pretty remarkable.
It's pretty remarkable. However, comma, he's like, yeah, I need you to be, a butthole. I was like, well, dang, I said, you're absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
And this was about a month ago. So I knew just doing the power episodes and leading it was so easy for us. Yep, discovery and exploration. Yep, that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
exactly.
It was so easy. Yeah.
Yes. So that is your homework. Figure out what areas you want to focus on.
Mine is gonna be fun. I'm right.
Fun. Already. That was yours. Did you say?
Well, let me get a fun jar going. I better got a fun jar going on.
Oh, the garden?
No.
She never answered.
Yes, I did answer.
You did not.
Heartbeats. talk to them again and to remind them what I
You
said.
did not.
Miss Nancy, you heard me say.
Miss Nancy gonna get
Miss
y'all.
Nancy
garden
heard me.
is not-
That is not what I said.
That's not what. Okay, what's your self-discovery that you're working on?
What I had said earlier was
What I had said.
I'm working on my wellness in whole.
Oh, you skipped
Mentally.
over that, sister.
I said
She was like this.
physically,
Linda, she was like,
spiritually,
okay, Linda, what's it? She ain't
and
let us
financially.
investigate.
And
She
then
ain't let
working
us
on my
ask no
financial.
questions. She ain't let us
Yeah,
pick
that
at
was a
any
minute
of it.
ago.
That y'all wasn't
A
that y'all
minute
moved
ago.
on?
That was like 15 minutes ago.
It was like
What?
13 and a half.
It's just like her when she presses record on our recording.
And
so
I'm
she can
yawning.
tell us
I was
to
But
press.
did I or
I
did I
was
not
looking-
share mine?
She
Yes or
is
no?
slicker than a
Yes
can of oil.
Or no?
Yeah, but that
Did
was
I or did I
wonderful.
not share?
I'm going to
mine?
say yes.
You did talk about your wellness, yes,
Thank you.
you did.
Gonna
But
And
that
my
was like 13
financial goals.
Yeah, okay,
I'm going
I
to say
remember.
yes.
Miss Nancy, I told you.
But next
Tell
time,
'em.
can we pause and connect with you?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you
that ain't
pause
my
and
fault.
connect
I
with
said-
us.
y'all
You
got
know
to-
what,
y'all
Linda?
got
We have to be
jump
more
in.
assertive.
Get
Right,
in where you
exactly.
We
can.
need to take a page out of
Well, I
Jeanette.
know. You
We
see,
need to be more assertive.
See, I know some project schedules. That was like 13 and a half minutes ago. So
I can't with y'all.
I was like, what?
cannot with y'all.
Yeah.
Anywho, Shauna, but you brushed over the fun. That's
Fun?
mine.
Oh, she did. But
You know what kind of fun I'm talking about. It's a lot of fun.
Wait a minute, what?
I hope y'all are watching this because let me tell you, if you haven't started watching this on YouTube yet,
Wait,
you
what?
probably should.
I know. Yeah, that's
It's
gonna
a
be the
whole different
tagline.
experience.
Yes, it is.
Adventure.
Okay.
Concerts.
Mhm.
Of course, traveling,
Yes.
socializing.
Mirror work.
Oh
There
yeah,
you
mirror
go.
work's always there. I love my mirror
Yeah.
work,
There you
baby.
go. There you go.
Fuego, baby. All that.
Mhm. All that.
All that jazz.
I love y'all
Yeah.
so much. So Heartbeats, I hope y'all have y'all homework
Yes.
down and that y'all enjoyed this first episode of season 4.
Where's the horn, Linda? Where's the horn?
There you go.
Yeah, there it
we
is.
go.
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
If you've been following us for 3 seasons, now moving into the 4th season, and you have not liked or left a review on iTunes or Spotify, please go and do that because that's how other people can find us.
Yes.
And they can get access to this amazing content. So, and be a part of our community with you. So please be sure to do that for us. Thank you.
Yes.
We
Thank
want
you.
to mention.
Oh, what? What are you mentioning?
Because that was going to make me realize what you was about to say. The membership?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
membership.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
She's like,
Lord, yes. You can join our membership community. We have a lot of fun in there. We have some workshops in there, live events that we're working on this season coming up for our Heartbeats. We have transitioned to a new platform and we're just really excited about all the things. But you can find out more on our website, theheartofchat.com/membership, and learn more about what we have going on and be a part of the collective. So
Yes.
yes. So exciting. Amazing.
That's great.
Yes.
if nothing else, y'all got a couple of good laughs today.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Yes.
Yes.
Anybody else have any final notes before Shauna takes us out?
Oh, we are
I think
good.
I'm
We are
good.
great.
Yeah.
Season
Start
4.
working on my
Season
four.
4.
It's a wrap.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being there for us, Heartbeat. Thank you for following us. You can find us all over the world. I repeat, all over the world.
Facebook,
you,
Instagram,
Heartbeat.
Twitter.
Yes.
We thank you. Whatever platform that you listen to us on, view us on, and share us on. We appreciate it because we are on all platforms. Come back next week and every week, everybody, because it's going to be Fuego, baby. Come back.
Yes.
Right,
Come
yes.
back. Season 4.
All right. Thank you, ladies.